What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and this video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. But in this one, we got some more huge recruiting news for Michigan on some flip targets, multiple crystal ball predictions going in their favor, including one for a big one, a top 100 cornerback, current Georgia commit, who is also expected to take a visit this weekend, plus a prediction put in to flip a big-bodied receiver and a 4-star offensive tackle in the 2026 class. Plus, we got some rumors ahead of the Michigan State game. The status on Will Johnson, who will start at quarterback, freshman quarterback Jaden Davis, an update on him, and Michigan's uniform combination going into the game tomorrow night. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so we got some more big recruiting news to talk about here for Michigan football. And I tell you what, this coaching staff, Sherrone Moore, they are putting work in here to recruiting, and it's starting to pay off. The 2025 class, we obviously got the big splash, like we've talked about this week, of the 5-star offensive tackle Andrew Babalola, and now Michigan is hosting multiple top targets, top flip targets this weekend for the Michigan State game. And there's been some crystal ball predictions put in going in Michigan's favor to flip a couple commits. Now, we talked about in yesterday's video, which if you guys missed that, make sure to go ahead, watch that video. But we talked about the 2025 4-star top 100 cornerback, current Georgia commit Shamari Earls, and how Michigan was starting to gain a lot of buzz in his recruitment to potentially flip him. Now, he comes from the state of Virginia, goes to Thomas Dale High School, and like I said in yesterday's video, if you guys remember, he was a South Carolina commit, and then both Georgia and Michigan were going after him to flip him. He flipped to Georgia in July, so they beat out Michigan, but now Michigan looking to flip him from Georgia, as now he will or he is expected to be back in Ann Arbor for an unofficial visit this weekend. So this is some big time news. That is according to Steve Wiltfong of On3, that he will be back on campus in Ann Arbor for a visit this weekend. And on top of that, Sam Webb of the Michigan Insider also put in a crystal ball prediction for Michigan to flip him last night. To flip the top 100 cornerback Shamari Earls. So this is some big time news for Michigan. Currently they have 4 top 100 commits. This would be another one, and it's big for Michigan because they're looking for someone to replace Will Johnson. Michigan, they really were trying to convince and pitch the idea to Shamari Earls that he could, replace Will Johnson. Now, Shamari Earls, he's got a lot of talent, and he has been really close to the Michigan coaching staff, to Coach Lamar Morgan, also Coach Sherrone Moore. He really likes both of them, and also Coach Wink Martindale, and he also loves the campus. He said it's beautiful. So Michigan is definitely in this one. They have a crystal ball prediction from Sam Webb already, and he'll be in campus or on campus for a visit this weekend. So that is absolutely huge news. There's also been a couple other crystal ball predictions put in from another big flip target for Michigan, which is the 2025 current NC State wide receiver commit 3-star Jamar Browder from the state of Florida. He has had a great senior season, and Steve Lorenz of the Michigan Insider has put in a crystal ball prediction today going in Michigan's favor. We've talked a lot about him before. His highlights show he is a 6'4", 200-pound wide receiver. And listen, man, I know people are going to say, oh, he's a 3-star, but this kid, the talent shows on the highlights. He's also a taller receiver, which is what Michigan needs. So earlier this month, he did tell Steve Wiltfong of On3 that right now Michigan has a real shot. So that's some big time news right there. We also talked about yesterday, Michigan, they are hosting the defensive line flip targets Benny Patterson and Quante Gillians. Also 4-star Duke linebacker commit Bradley Gompers is coming in for a visit. And also one we didn't talk about is the in-state safety Elijah Dotson, who is currently committed to Pittsburgh, but Michigan, if they do push, could potentially flip him as well. He's a 4-star athlete, safety prospect for Michigan, goes to Belleville, Michigan. And obviously Ivan Taylor we talked about, Jordan Young we talked about, also the #1 running back in the 2026 class, Savion Hyder, visiting. So this is going to be a big recruiting weekend for Michigan, and credit this coaching staff, Sherrone Moore. I mean, they have been putting in the work, man, and like we've said, I've been saying it all week, if there's anything to take away from the Sherrone Moore era, any positives, it is recruiting, because right now they got this thing rolling. The 2025 class, I mean, they could probably finish top 10, especially if they flip Shamari Earls. Maybe they get another big splash. Who knows? But they are putting in the work right now, going after some top targets. And obviously the Bryce Underwood rumors are out there. You never know, but all I know is this coaching staff has things rolling right now as far as recruiting goes. And then the other crystal ball prediction put in by Steve Lorenzo, the Michigan Insider, was for the 2026 big-time offensive tackle target, the 4-star Malachi Lee from the state of Hawaii, a 6'6", 318-pound offensive tackle, ranked 126th nationally on 24/7 Sports composite rankings, so that's some more good news. So a lot of big-time news going on around Michigan football recruiting, some big-time flip targets. Michigan trying to close in, highlighted right now by the 4-star top 100 cornerback Shamari Earls, which would be just, I can't even express how huge of a flip commit that would be for Sherrone Moore and Michigan. So who knows, maybe they close it out this weekend on his visit. So let me know what you guys think about all of that. And then I also wanted to talk about some rumors going into the Michigan State game. Let's talk about cornerback Will Johnson, as right now he's most likely going to be questionable going into the game tomorrow. Now listen, I know you guys have thought about it. Maybe Will Johnson shuts things down, this season, not really going anywhere, not making the playoffs or anything. But according to Chris Ballas of the Wolverine, he says that folks need to stop questioning his desire to play, and that even last week he was asking to get his helmet back so he could go back into the game after going to the tent, but trainers and medical staff wouldn't allow it. So Will Johnson, he's working through a couple different injuries right now, and obviously this coaching staff, the medical staff, they're not going to put him out if he's not 100%. Nobody wants to risk his future, but that doesn't mean he doesn't want to get back out there and play with his teammates. So that's definitely good news, and we will see Will Johnson back. He isn't done. Once he gets 100%, he'll be back, and I'm sure he wants to finish this thing out. And now as far as the quarterback room, who will be starting, Sherrone Moore did say that Jack Tuttle earlier in the week, probably had the edge to start, but he said we'll see how practices go. Now, there are some rumors that we could potentially see Davis Warren start. We could go back to him, but we will have to see. And I'm sure, like Sherrone Moore said, about the practice this week, they may be going with who had the best practice, but we'll have to see. Whoever Michigan goes with, though, I feel like, they just got to pick somebody and stick with it for the rest of the season. But let me know what you guys think. Now, I've talked about some options for Michigan at quarterback. One they could go to is, playing the freshman quarterback, Jaden Davis, giving him some experience, seeing what you got out of him, because, if you don't even test him and see what you got going into next season, it's not a good look. And also, you're probably going to have to get a quarterback in the transfer portal if Jaden Davis isn't ready to go. So now he might not be ready, and there are potentially some issues with his mechanics, his arm strength, but not giving him reps to see what you got out of him going into next season, see how he does against college competition. Why would you not put him out there, see what you got? This season is, you're sitting at 4-3, you got nothing to lose. You got to start building towards the future, see what you got out of these younger players. So we'll see what happens. Maybe not play him against Michigan State in a rivalry game. Maybe play him against Northwestern, an easier opponent, but just some point you got to give them some reps at least. Then to wrap up this video, Michigan, their uniform combination is the traditional home uniforms, blue tops, maize pants, but white accessories going into the game tomorrow night against Michigan State. Should be an interesting one. I don't really know what to expect, but all I know right now is Michigan football recruiting, they got that thing rolling, so that is very exciting. But we'll see how the team looks tomorrow night against Michigan State in a pretty big game, key game for Sherrone Moore, trying to prevent or stop the bleeding so far through this season. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Again, shout out to BetUS. Go and check them out at betus.com. And other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.